Howdy, 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 back at it again. Today's video going to look at Marisa's Season 2 Oki. We're going to look at how drive reversal affects setups from Season 1, new combo routes and setups from there, and then how does the command grab stuff change. Stay tuned if you're interested in her level 3 Oki, because I'm going to be putting out a video on general checkmate scenario things, and level 3 will be included in that. Otherwise, once again, I'm really looking to grow this channel in year 2, so please consider liking and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. So first thing we want to talk about is how does drive reversal affect some of our current setups? And the answer, it does beat them in the sense that if we commit to one of these setups, we're going to get hit by drive reversal, right? And that sounds really crappy, but it's actually not that bad because I've got Marisa here set to do charge back heavy punch. And if I try to react with wake up drive reversal just once I see the heavy punch, it's really hard for me to do, right? Where I can get the input, but I'm usually not in time, and that just leads to me getting hit. Same is not to be said about this charge sand heavy punch. I think this is fairly easy to react to, right? I think that's pretty simple. However, if your opponent is sitting there waiting for you to charge something, right? Like, if they're sitting waiting for this, and then that never comes, they're going to be more susceptible to, like, you know, getting grabbed or command grabbed or whatnot, right? So you have to sort of pay attention in that regard. It's really no different than a modern DP. If you didn't notice people, you know, waking up with ODDPs when you did stuff like that when they were playing on modern, people probably aren't going to wake up with drive reversal that same way. That being said, even some of our quote-unquote safer stuff still kind of loses to this. You can time that there. You see that hit on the 3rd active frame. However, if I time that at any other frame advantage, it won't work. So even something like crouch medium punch, which is like a safer, quicker thing to do, still doesn't really work all the time. And there you see, like, oh, I blocked it, but if you look at the frame meter, that wouldn't have actually hit her. I did it way too early. So you just have to be careful. I think it's better, to be honest, rather than trying to OS it. I think it's better to just bait it like that. You know, just pick your spot and do your neutral jump and get a big punish, rather than trying to OS it and block it and maybe screwing it up. But that's just my 2 cents. That does it for the old stuff. Let's look at some of the new setup stuff. So I'm actually going to go over to Luke just because I want to show some stuff eventually. So here's the thing. I really only want to look at the extension here. There's a couple different things you can do, like Gladius, crouch heavy punch. I think you can time a sweep. But the thing that I'm most fond of, I think, is following this up with jump medium punch. So this is plus 34, and we are really, really close. There are a couple things that are manually timed. So for example, auto timed. Forward dash into stand heavy punch. We'll hit on the 2nd active frame, and we can actually combo out of it. You can also do drive rush into charge heavy punch, and if they try to wake up with parry, it hits outside the perfect parry window, so that can be pretty good too. But it's kind of an expensive setup. For my money, I actually like manually timing here. I like just walking forward and eating the space because we're so close. It's very easy to time it to grab their jab, right? Super simple. Obviously that's going to grab parry. And the thing that's really nice about this is Marisa can actually shimmy off of this, right? And you can go into whatever combo you want. You can also shimmy with the new stand heavy kick combos, right? And you don't even have to spend a lot of meter there to get good damage, good Oki. From there you can do like forward dash into charge back heavy punch. But the thing is, like, this is free Oki we get, right? We don't have to spend any meter. We're super close. We can shimmy, which Marisa can't usually do. And again, we can punish a shimmy. You know, we can punish a DP if we just happen to shimmy here. I mean, this is like what this character really loves to do, right? Right? Do stuff like that. That'll also bait out drive reversal. And again, if they decide to tech, whoops. If they decide to tech, they're eating a ton of damage as well. So, very dangerous for them. Alternatively, if they decide, you know what, I'm just going to hold down back, well, we can punish that too. We can do stuff like, I mean, obviously we can do regular throw, but we can also do like walk up command grab. If I don't screw up the input, we can do walk up command grab. And then the thing that's really cool about the timing here is that if they don't press a low, we should armor through it. And also, if they're doing like a normal kind of delay tech timing, we're going to grab their throw attempt too. So it's like, okay, well, why don't they just jump? What's the meaty option? Well, there's a couple different meaty options. If they decide they want to jump here, you can just manually time one of these, or, you know, something like stand medium punch shard combo. But you can also time one of these. So the thing I'm looking for there is just once they hit the ground, I'm holding towards heavy kick. So he hits the ground, charge it. And then we get the whole combo. Right? And from here, I mean, we can do some kind of silly combos if we time it correctly. You know, you could do into OD quad there or whatever. You can also time this with stand heavy punch. And there that was +8 because I hit on the second active frame. That's a little harder just because it has 2 active frames instead of 4 active frames, so the timing's a little tighter. But you get more damage if it hits counter hit too, so, you know. That's something to consider. But honestly, I like this. The other thing too is if we go for this, you know, you can do something like that. Or OD, you know, if you delay it or whatever. But I like it. It's free Oki. We're really, really close. We can get a ton of corner carry out of it. We can shimmy, which will block DPs. We can punish throw attacks really hard. I honestly think it's a really, really good knockdown situation for us. You just have to learn how to do some manually time options. Not too bad. Okay, on to command grab stuff. So this used to be +20, which was very strong because you would follow up with this drive rush stand heavy punch, which is +7 on hit, +9 if they mash. It's +1 on block. You can sort of set up this fake little throw pressure. It was very good, put you in a very good situation. Now, however, 4 frames will beat that. So every character in the game can mash their 4-frame normal and get out of it. So you have to find some other kind of options to circumvent mashing, keep them in place. Driver say medium punch does a great job at that if they mash. And that medium punch is just done immediately. It hits meaty. It's +7 on normal hit, +9 on counter hit. You can go into back heavy punch, get a big combo still. However, if they jump here, they're not in range unless they're like a wide character. I think Honda, Marisa, Zangief, like they'll still get hit by the second medium punch. But pretty much every other character, if they get hit out of pre-jump, you don't get a combo there. So you have to find something that lets you combo pre-jump, right? Well, how was stand medium kick? Right? That works. Okay, well, why don't we just do this all the time? And, you know, that's fair maybe because we could, right? There, we trade and we're +12 and we could do into towards medium punch or stand heavy punch or whatever. But, you know, maybe you aren't in a position where you want to trade or whatever. Or maybe you just want more damage out of it because neither of those give a ton of, you know, big extensions. Then it seems like, okay, well, how about wake up perfect, you know, how about wake up parry? That's this, you know, we're +2, but we don't really get much mix. And if we do the medium punch, well, we get perfect parried, and that's no good, okay? So what can we do against parry? Well, we can delay and do a command grab, right? We can do another command grab. Okay, well, what if they mash? Well, if they mash and it's not a low, we should armor through it. All right, I'm actually doing that command guard a little early. I think the perfect number is 18 frames of drive rush, so that was maybe even a little fast, but doesn't really matter. That also is going to be them just holding down back, right? And that's the other thing we want to punish, right? Is that's +4, but not in range of anything. That's +2, but not really in range of anything good. So having something like being able to threaten command grab, which again, that's why it needs to be a little longer. You see there 17 didn't quite grab them. 19 will and 18 will as well, and you'll still armor through the crouch jab or stand jab or whatever, so long as it's not a low. Thing to remember though, and this was the case before as well, I can't block there, right? So if they decide to DP, it's like, oh, so you're telling me nothing is a good option here? And that's actually not true. If you feel like being expensive, you can do like OD stance and just time the command grab too, so that if they don't reversal here, you'll grab the command grab, or button or whatever, right? This will armor through this too, and again, this is whole body, so that'll armor through a low as well. So you just sort of time it so that you can beat multiple things. In the corner, you don't need to worry about this option really at all, unless of course you want to be close enough to do one of those, right? So like that'll catch jump out, it'll trade with mashing. It's a pretty good option. It won't get perfect parried, right? We're +12. Again, we don't really get a great conversion there, but you still get something. So you can either, okay, I never want to trade, I'm always going to go for this, and that could have been back heavy punch because it was counter hit. Or, right, you can go, well, I just want to make sure that I can get some sort of combo no matter what, and you can go into something like this. And again, if they block, that puts you up for command grab. Now, what's the point? The point is, yeah, in Season 1, if you were mid-screen, you had this, it was +1, and there wasn't a whole lot they could do about it. In the corner, you had this, it was +6 on block, +9 on hit, and there wasn't much they could do about it. Right now, it's a lot more about just having a read. It's about, okay, what do I think they're going to do? Are they going to mash? Oh my goodness. Get the quarter circle. Are they going to mash? Drive rush for medium punch. Are they going to jump? Drive rush medium kick. Are they going to parry? Drive rush command grab. Are they going to DP? Drive rush OD, right? So you just put yourself in a situation where you have to make a lot more player reads, which, to be honest, I think is really fun. It reminds me a lot of like Abigail's run grab +1, where you could get away with some stuff that really wasn't very real, but it was, fun. Like you'd do stuff like, I know they're going to backdash, dash up, crouch, heavy punch, and that was an 11-frame button and you're +1. So there's this gigantic gap that they could mash out of, but because you had a read on what they wanted to do, you could still punish them really hard. And I think that's sort of what this is going to turn into. A lot more interesting maybe than it used to be. Not as strong, but more interesting. And again, it still is strong. You still do get pressure. As always, hopefully this is helpful, and have a good time.